Skeleton UI is supposed to make your app feel faster, but sometimes even with skeleton loading screens everywhere, your app still somehow feels slow. And the weird part is, this often has nothing to do with your backend speed. The real problem is that your layout becomes unstable. And today, I want to show you why that happens and how to fix it properly. If you are new to Skeleton UI, it is basically a placeholder version of your content. Instead of showing users a blank screen while data loads, we immediately show the structure of the page. And this improves perceived performance because users immediately feel like the page is responding. But there is a problem. A lot of skeleton UIs don't actually match the final content. Sometimes the image sizes are different, the text lengths don't match, spacing changes, or the final layout is completely different. And when the real content finally loads, the entire layout shifts around. This is called layout shift, and it's one of the biggest reasons why skeleton UIs can still feel slow. The important thing here is users already started scanning your page. Their eyes already formed a mental map of the interface. They already expect where the title is, where the buttons are, where content will appear. Then suddenly, everything moves. Now, users need to rescan the page again. Their attention gets interrupted. And even if your API was technically fast, the experience still feels slower because the interface feels unstable. Imagine a user visiting an electronics store. They're about to click the View Hot Deals button, but right before they click, the future product finished loading. The layout shifts. And now they accidentally click Add to Cart instead. This is why layout shift is more than just visual polish, it directly affects usability. And Google actually measures this using something called CLS, or Cumulative Layout Shift. CLS basically measures how visually unstable your page feels while loading. So if your page constantly jumps around, your CLS score gets worse. Let's compare a few loading approaches as different loading strategies create different level of visual expectation. First, blank screen. There is no feedback. Users don't know, is the page loading or is the app broken? This usually feels slowest. Second, loading spinner. This is better because users at least know something is happening. But a spinner only tells users to wait. It doesn't tell them what the page will look like. Third, skeleton UI. This is why skeleton UI usually feels much faster. Because user can immediately understand page structure, content layout, visual hierarchy. But this illusion only works if the final content actually matches the placeholder. Otherwise, the experience breaks. The good news is, this problem is usually pretty easy to fix. Fix number 1, match the final layout. Your skeleton UI should mirror the real layout as closely as possible. And that means matching spacing, image sizes, text blocks, cart dimensions, overall structure. A good skeleton UI is basically making a promise to users. The real content will appear right here, and you don't want to break that promise. Fix number 2, reserve space early. One of the biggest causes of layout shift is images loading without reserved dimensions. Instead of letting the browser guess the size, reserve the space up front. You can do this using width and height, fixed containers, or CSS aspect ratio. This keeps the layout stable while the content loads, which makes the loading transition feel much smoother. The goal of skeleton UI isn't just to show great boxes while loading, it is to preserve visual stability because users don't experience performance as milliseconds. They experience it as predictability, responsiveness, and confidence in their interface. And sometimes, making an app feel faster has less to do with speed and more to do with removing uncertainty. But honestly, this is one of those concepts that is hard to fully understand just by watching videos. You kind of need to experience the differences yourself. So I built something called Performance Lab. It is a free interactive playground where you can compare different loading strategies side by side and actually feel how small UI decisions can change perceived performance. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to try it out.